Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Shrinvata Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Hrudayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhustam nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki. Good morning, everyone. Hare Krishna. I'm continue to reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter 17, and verse number 29. Darovacha Namah Parasmai Purusya Mayaya Vinyatanana Tanave Gunatmane Namaha Swarupanubhavena Nirudata Dravikriya Karaka Vibraha Urmame Daro Uvacha Namah Parasmai Purusya Mayaya Vinyatanana Tanave Gunatmane Namah Swarupa Anubhavena Nirudata Darva Kriya Karaka Vibraha Urmame. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The planet Earth spoke, My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are transcendental in your position, and by your material energy, you have expanded yourself in various forms and species of life through the interaction of the three modes of material nature. Unlike some other masters, you always remain in your transcendental position and are not affected by the material creation, which is subject to different material interactions. Consequently, you are not bewildered by material activities. Purport. After King Prathu gave his royal command, the planet Earth, in the shape of the cow, could understand that the king was directly empowered, uh, empowered incarnation of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Consequently, the king knew that everything, past, present, and the future, that there are no possibility of the earth's cheating him. The earth was accused of hiding the seeds of all herbs and grains, and therefore she is preparing to explain how the seeds of these herbs and grains can be again exposed. The earth knew that king was very angry with her, and she realized that unless she pacified his anger, there are no possibility of placing a positive program before him. Therefore, in the beginning of her speech, she very humbly present herself as a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's body. She submits that the various bodily forms manifest in the physical world are but different parts and parcels of the Supreme gigantic body. Hare Krishna. It is said that the lower planetary systems are parts and parcels of the legs of the Lord, whereas the upper planetary systems are parts and parcels of the Lord head. The Lord creates this material world by his external energy, but this external energy is in one sense not different from him. Yet at the same time, the Lord is not directly manifest in the external energy, but is always situated in the spiritual energy. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Maya Dakshena Prakritihi. Material nature is working under the influence of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is not unattached to the external energy, and he is addressed in the verse as Gunatmana, the source of three modes of material nature. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 13.15, Nirgunanam Guna Bhoktercha. Although the Lord is not attached to the external energy, he is nonetheless the master of it. The philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, upholding that the Lord is simultaneously one with and different from his creation. Achantya Beda Tattva is very easily understandable in this connection. The planet Earth explains that although the Lord is attached to the external energy, he is nirduta. He is completely free from all the activities of external energy. The Lord is always situated in his internal energy. Therefore, in this verse, it is stated, Swarupa Anubhavena. The Lord remains completely in his internal potency and yet has full knowledge of the external energy as well as the internal energy. Just as his devotee remains always in transcendental position, keeping himself in the service of the Lord without becoming attached to the material body. Srila Rupa Goswami says that the devotee who is always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is always liberated, regardless of his materialistic situation. If it is possible for a devotee to remain transcendental, it is certainly possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to remain in this internal potency without being attached to the external potency. Therefore, should be no difficulty in understanding the situation. Just as the devotee is never bewildered by his material body, the Lord is never bewildered by the external energy of this material world. A devotee is not hampered by material body, although he is situated in a physical body that runs according to so many materialistic conditions, as there are five kinds of air functioning within the body and so many organs. The hands, the legs, tongue, genitals, rectum, etc., are all working differently. The spirit soul, the living entity, which is full knowledge of his position, is always engaged in chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He is not concerned with bodily functions. Although the Lord is connected with material world, he is always situated in his spiritual energy and is always unattached to the functions of this material world. As far as material body is concerned, there are six waves or symptomatic material conditions: hunger, thirst, lamentation, bewilderment, old age, and death. The liberated soul is never concerned with the six physical interactions. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being all the powerful master of all energies, has some connection with external energy, but he is always free from the interactions of the external energy in the material world. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschata Daisatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrunda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I like to seek the blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas here, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings. I'm actually summarizing the verses by listening to the lectures from His Holy Grace, uh, Rasi Bihari Prabhu lecture from ISKCON Hyderabad. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all energies, has the connection with the external energy. Yet he always remains free from its interactions to the materialistic world. Right? As Bhagavad Gita 9.10 states, Madhyakshana Prakriti, material in nature works under his direction. This principle is reflected in the episode of the King Prithu's governance, where he takes the decisive action when the nature order is disturbed. Um, Now, when comes to the situation of King Prithu's anger towards the earth, um, previously the citizens of Prithu Maharaj's kingdom has approached him with great distress. They lamented, "We have become extremely weak and lack energy. Mother Earth is not supplying food grains, natural herbs, or nutrients. Even though we have dutifully performed yagnas under your guidance, we continue to suffer." This situation raised an important question. If human beings fulfill their duties, Hare Krishna, but still do not receive their rightful reciprocation from demigods, what should they have done? What they have done? As explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, the reciprocal relationship we have between the human beings and demigods. Krishna explains the Karma Chakra in Bhagavad Gita. The cycle of action and reaction was established by the Supreme God Himself. And when it fails, it is appropriate to question why the system is not functioning. It's a great question. If the system was placed by Lord Himself, why is it not working? In this case, the citizens approached King Prithu because he was divinely empowered ruler and representative of Supreme God Himself. He was responsible for the direct well-being of all the citizens. Unlike ineffective rulers who are unable to resolve problems, the Supreme God can immediately take corrective action when they see discrepancies, right? King Prithu, being empowered incarnation of Supreme God, decided to confront Mother Earth from withholding resources. In political context, as we can see in the current situation where we are now, when a member of a ruling party commits an offense, the party often attempts to cover it up, right? Always they cover it up. When somebody does a mistake. However, a true king does not engage in such activities, deceptive activities. Justice must be served, even if the offender is someone very close within the family. In this case, Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi, was considered something like Apna Admi. This is like our within the family, one of his own, as the Lord has previously protected her. Yet, when she committed a mistake, King Prithu did not hesitate to expose her wrongdoing. A strong ruler ensures that the justice is upheld. If a thief commits a crime but is secretly pardoned, others will assume he is trustworthy and remain unaware of his misdeeds. Similarly, if an offender is not held accountable, society will suffer. Prithu Maharaj was not willing to let such injustice done to others. Initially, mother tried to flee, thinking if the ruler is weak, I can escape the punishment. If I can avoid the confrontation, I will not be able to be accountable. This mindset is prevalent in the modern society, right, where individuals manipulate the weak governance, right? However, Prithu Maharaj was strong and righteous ruler, did not allow deception. Srila Prabhupada explains there are two forms of cheating: committing the mistake itself and trying to escape. And number two, enjoying the benefits of the system by now refusing to reciprocate fairly, which is the yagnas offered. Mother Earth was guilty of both. She was withheld food and resources from the citizens despite receiving the benefits of all the yagnas and offerings. When she realized she did not escape King Prithu's justice, but she ultimately surrendered and sought to correct the situation. After King Prithu issued his royal command, Mother Earth appeared in the form of a cow, understood that the king was divinely empowered incarnation of the Lord. Prithu Maharaj has complete knowledge of the past, present, as described in the purport. There is no way to deceive him. The only way to seek his mercy is to provide a solution. And actually, Mother Earth acknowledged the lower planetary systems are like the Lord's feet. The upper planetary systems are like his head, remembered in the purport. The Lord remains transcendental though he is connected to the material world. The Bhagavad Gita 13.5, as we know, confirms Nirgunam Guna Bhoktacha. The Lord is not entangled in the material modes, though he is the master, right? He created it, but he is not entangled to the material modes. Lord Chaitanya, philosophy of Achinta Veda Tattva, explains this, right? Beautifully. Though the Lord interacts with material nature, he remains untouched by its limitations. Just as a devotee remains spiritually engaged despite having a physical body, the Lord is always situated in his internal potency. In conclusion, the episode of King Prutu and Mother Earth teaches us profound lessons. What are the lessons we can learn from all these things? That is how where I trying to relate. Number one, a strong ruler ensures justice. A true leader does not cover up mistakes, but corrects them for a greater good of the community. Accountability is essential. Escaping consequences may be possible. We can do that temporarily, but true justice prevails at the end. And surrendering to the Supreme Lord. When all options fail, surrendering to the Lord is the best course of option. This is what comes to my mind. I am a pure, I'm a devotee of uh, Krishna, and I do not in anything I do with the materialistic thing. I'm not expecting anything as given in the Bhagavad Gita. I do my actions, but when all options fail, I surrender to the Lord. And that's the best course of option. Despite being all the master of all energies, the supreme personality of Godhead remains untouched by the material interactions. You know, um, and with that, let's take the inspiration from the narration and deepen our devotion to Supreme Lord by sincerely engaging in his service and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With this one, I would like to conclude. Thank you so much for giving me